I started singing at a very, very early age. One of the earliest recordings I have was of my grandmother slipping in close and next to the door of the bathroom, and she got an audio recording of me singing in the bathtub. And I don't know what I was singing, but I was singing it at the top of my lungs. I'm sure it was a church song. You could hear the water splash and you could hear all that stuff, but I loved to sing from the very beginning, and they all thought it was funny. But the older I got, the more I loved to sing. And my mom, we had this brick hearth in our house, this fireplace, and there was a brick hearth. It was about a foot, maybe a foot and a half tall, where you would put the firewood, when Dad would bring the wood in for the fire. And that became my little stage. It was about 2 feet deep and about a foot and a half tall. And I would get up there and I would get me a little play microphone, and that was my stage where I would sing. And I'd sing all the songs we heard at church. I remember there was a family group that came through called the Lamar Seago family. And they sang a song called I've Got My Foot on the Rock. And that was my favorite song. I was about 4 or 5. And I would get up there and sing I've Got My Foot on the Rock. But I had all the motions to go with it. I've got my foot on the rock and my mind's made up and all of these things. And I would try to act the song out, but Mom would encourage me in all that. And every day she'd say, get up there and sing for me. And so I would. And 5, 6, 7 years old, I think the first time I sang in church, I was about 6. And she would put me up, and she would get me up there on a midweek service. And she would sing and sang a lot in church, but instead of her getting up there and singing by herself, she would have me come up and just kind of sing along with her. And I'm very thankful for that. That took away the stage fright, from me at a very early age. And I just grew up singing there in our little church in Central Mississippi, our little country church. But those are some of my earliest memories of singing.